Hey guys, welcome back to another Crave Shock podcast. I am your co-host Limelight. We have co-host Tien here,
Yep.
and
Hey
we
guys,
are
I'm glad to be
ready
back.
to go through some spoilers that have been revealed. Exciting. We haven't really got to sit down yet so far, me and Tien. We've been very busy with Singapore prep. We had a European regionals we did. Both got the same score at, so we need to figure out what we're doing in Singapore.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We both like barely didn't make the
Yeah.
top 8. We also didn't play into each other.
Yeah,
So
we dodged each other, which was
yeah,
crazy. All right, so let's get started. We're not going to go through all the cards because there is a lot of cards that have been revealed. Maybe we can, if there's enough like viewers or people who want to watch, maybe we'll do a second video of the ones we haven't done. But let's just jump into like the main ones. Let's obviously start with like the Jin lineage. So Jin level 1, whenever Jin attacks with a polearm and or polearm attack card, a horse or human ally you control gets +1 until the end of the turn. Feels very allies-y. You'd love it in your wind allies deck if you're running
oh yeah,
humans.
100%. Yep, I do love the whole thing with horses and humans. It'd be interesting to see what kind of new allies we get, and if this breaks the mold of every single ally is a 3 cost 2/3. If it's not, don't run it, kind of thing. Like
Right?
it'd be nice to see if we have a bit more of like the you need one type of ally to make the other one work, and
Hmm.
if that becomes meta, it'd be fun to see.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. One
Level
thing I
level.
want to add is
Yep.
oh,
Yeah, go,
this
go.
is the website we're using here is gabrary.net. They compile all of the spoilers into one place. So if you want to check that out, it's there. I'm not sure who made it,
Shout
but
out to
do
Reverend.
have to give
Reverend made it.
yeah, Rav does have to give credits to Rav.
Yeah. Cool. So level 2 says Jin lineage. On enter, Jin's next attack this turn gets +1 and has on attack wake up Jin. This is actually kind of gross, to be honest.
Yeah, this is such a fun card to look at. I feel like because I think I was talking to one of our local Melbourne players, Hon, and he was talking about how like it'd be cool to see if Jin was one of those like characters in traditional Chinese law where like one general can take on 1,000 soldiers, and that kind of is what this card feels like. It's Jin attacks, he wakes up, and he just keeps fighting over and over.
You know what's funny?
He's like the one man army kind of character.
How gas is this card in this deck?
Yeah, you use it, you wake up immediately, and you just go again.
With a polearm too. This is actually
Yeah,
gas. You just pay 1, swing for 3 minimum, probably like 4 or 5 with a polearm, and then you just swing again with a polearm. Like I think that I've heard a lot of like the talk I've heard is most people want to play like aggro level 2 Jin with like fire.
mm,
And they
yep,
there's also like you can go opening cut into fiery momentum if you're playing like fire, and the fiery momentum comes in for ridiculous damage as well. And that's only 6 cards that you need in hand. So if
yeah,
you're playing like
definitely
hasties and
Jin has
stuff,
a lot of cards that work. He's also got,
uh,
like there's a new fire pole arm that strongly helps the Jin aggro,
yeah,
like,
Dragon's
fire
Dawn.
aggro.
As additional cost to materialize this card, banish 3 fire element cards from your graveyard. On attack, you may discard a fire element card and have Dragon's Dawn deal 2 unpreventable damage to your champion. If you do, this attack gets +2 and gains on champion hit draw a card. So you just draw 2 cards as well at level 2.
Yeah, it's crazy, you can make it's like the, Verucan Soul Knife, where you can just materialize it outside of your normal phases, your normal materialization phase.
You know what's interesting? Like, and like, I think I've said this before in like other videos. Like, I see these cards and like my brain kind of ticks into like weird corners and stuff. This
Yeah,
this in this in Lorraine, Spirit Rule Lorraine, you're able to like swing, draw a card, Spirit's Blessing, swing, draw a card, Spirit's Blessing, and if you throw infusions on it, you're drawing like 5 to 6 cards with this weapon.
yeah. I just noticed that its stat line is 2/3 as a
Yeah.
weapon, first one, and the part where you can bring it out is not actually a class bonus. Because at first I thought this was Jin only, but
No, it's Warrior.
any fire deck can use this
Yeah,
actually.
any fire card can use it. Yeah, you just got to banish 3 fire element cards, which is a bit slow. Like fire element, to get 3 fire element is you're not going to get it that quickly. That's why
Yeah.
the one thing, like I did play a little bit of Jin with some spoilers, like about a couple days ago, and the only problem I had was like you don't have time to get a polearm out. Like if you want to play the aggro version, you're not grabbing a polearm unless you're going wind and grabbing the materialized polearm. You're never really grabbing a polearm unless you're taking a turn off, which you don't really want to do anyway.
Mm,
So it's
yeah.
very interesting. We'll show Jin level 3. For some reason it's not in order, so bear with me. Where is it at? Jin level 3. So Jin level 3, Undying Resolve, Jin lineage. As long as it's not your end phase, Jin has immortality.
Yeah, it's
This is
it's a very
such a fun
unique
idea.
card.
Such a
Yeah.
fun idea. I think this is like they put a lot of effort into making things feel different, and like this is how you make a game or a deck feel different. Like this is actually so cool.
Yeah, I was always wondering what Exia would be since like
I thought
they
it'd be like
first
some
announced the gym with
green
Exia.
icon. I thought it was gonna be like a green logo and like dragons or something,
Yeah,
but like this is not what I expected in a good way. I'm the edgy as fuck. I love this type of stuff. Like this is great. This is like Kane, like but
yeah,
Tryndamere as well. Like it's great.
yeah. I mean, it's actually Tryndamere. Yeah, he goes like full on to the dark side. He becomes like it's like almost like a demonic color with the dark red, the very very strong dark red.
I also
Yeah,
think this is like the whole law thing you're talking about is like someone fighting like a general fighting thousands is like this is a whole thing here, right? Like
yeah,
he's
and I
mid
also feel like
battle.
yeah, I feel like it's so cool. Like they gave him a reason as to why he's immortal. Because it like if you read the little title that he has in all of his level 1, 2, and 3,
Mhm.
the reason why he can't or does he chooses not to die and he like refuses to die is because he found someone worth fighting for. Essentially,
Wow, that's actually it's
yeah,
kind of cool. I didn't
yeah,
realize that.
it's deep. It's a lot deeper. Yeah, it's not just like he's just at first because when I first saw Jin, I thought that he was like with the XE, I thought he was
Mhm.
a berserker type character. You know, he just goes crazy and he just starts like smacking everyone and refusing to die. But it became a lot better when I realized that the reason why he doesn't want to die is because he has someone to fight for, and he
Yeah,
just refuses to die because of that.
kind of
It adds
gives
so
me
much depth to the
gives me
lore.
like goosebumps a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of cool to think
Yeah,
about. Like the like he has a reason to live, and that's why he won't die.
yeah, and I love
Interesting.
that. Yeah, this was also spoiled on the developer live stream where they talk about this a lot more in depth,
Mhm.
partially more in depth as well.
What's Do you think this will be a actual competitive deck, or do you think it's just like jank, just like fun?
I think that there's definitely going to be like a competitive
In regards to
viability
level
to it.
3, not level 1. Like obviously there'll be an
Oh,
aggro
level
gin.
3?
I
Yeah,
expect that. I'm in level 3.
yeah, yeah. I think Agrojin sorry, not Agrojin, level 3 Jin will definitely be competitive. It's just it'll take people time. Same with, like, when Tristan and Sylvie first came well, mainly Tristan. People will always, like there'll always be people who try wanna make it work, and eventually it will be competitive. That's
Yeah.
what I believe. I just think with his effect, it's he has good and bad matchups like every deck. For
Mhm.
example, like, he'll struggle against things like Merlin fireballing him during the end phase. But against things like he'll be very good to allies because allies have no way to kind of like kill him with fast speed damage. They just have to smack him and then he gets one extra turn
Yeah, and then
where
he
he'll
brings out like
proceed to
Berserker,
completely blow them out of the water.
or he brings out
Yeah,
Berserker plate, gains 7 life, lives another turn.
yeah, yeah, because Jin struggles against fast speed damage during his own end step is what I would
This
imagine.
this
But
card's kind of crazy. 1 cost Berserker plate. Your champion gets 7 life. At the beginning of your recollection phase, deal 3 unpreventable damage to your champion, then draw a card.
yeah, the
So he just
fact that you
draws a card
draw
every
a
turn.
card every turn.
It's Merlin,
Yep.
but better.
Yeah, literally.
I think that's a must-have in the deck. I did love this card when I was playing Jin. Men Flesh is a 2 cost. If you have 25 damage counters, it's free, and it recovers 8.
Yeah, recovering 8 sounds very strong, especially with Jin, where it can potentially buy you one extra turn, given the way his champion works. You can live for one extra turn.
I feel like you're right though. I feel like he's very good into ally, especially he's got his unique ally Xiao Yun, Dragon's Blood. Sorry if I chopped that up, but class bonus on attack, you may have Xiao Yun deal 2 unpreventable damage to your champion. If you do, this attack gets +2, so he's a 4/3 for 3. And then on
Yeah,
kill, he gains immortality indefinitely, so he just can never die again.
yeah. So it's like, who's Gildas? This is just a 4/3, and he's an invulnerable Gildas, and you don't even have to balance.
Then he gets Dream Fairy, and you cry.
Well, but Dream Fairy beats everything.
Although
Dream Fairy's broken.
I was cooking, I was thinking Water Gin, and I was thinking is it Ocean? Yeah, Ocean's Blessing it. Give it Taunt.
Yep.
1 health and taunt, and then
Yeah.
it's an immortal taunt, which would be kind of funny into allies. I would just say, okay, never mind. I'm moving
Yeah,
on.
that'd be crazy. Yeah, if they don't have a way to like bounce it or something, it's just forever blocking them.
Pierce the Heavens is a generic attack for Jin. It's an attack warrior polearm. So because it's a polearm attack, he gets +1 from his level 1, which I believe is inherited, right? He gets it at all times. Or am I wrong? It is inherited. That's insane.
Yep. It is.
I didn't even realize it was inherited. That's kind of gross. And Pierce the Heavens. Okay, I'll lost it. 1 second. As long as your champion is leveled up this turn, this attack gets +2 and has unblockable. So it's a 3-cost 5 attack, unblockable. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be for his level 2. You go to 2, you play this, swing for 5, 6 with a polearm, and then you probably swing with polearm again, right?
Yeah, you immediately wake up and swing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely interesting to think of.
yeah,
Like, what the level 2 makes so many different options for deck building.
it really does. Like, especially when, as you were talking earlier about, like, you give a counter to a human or a horse, right? You've got Dilu, who is a suspicious charger. Pride 3, though, you can't use this, actually. Never mind. Oh, no, hold on. No, you can. As long as you control a wind element unique human ally, it loses pride. It's a 2-cost 3/4 that will get
Yeah,
2 buff counters or 2 attack counters from Jin at level 2.
yeah. So this could potentially be a 4/4.
5.
It could even be a 5/4 if you were
Yeah.
spending twice the gen.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think about, to be honest.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on like all the unique ally interaction that they've been putting out recently?
I think that it's cool. The way that they're doing it, like the way that the whole set is kind of surrounded by unique allies. But at the same time, I feel as though people who kind of punish the unique allies, e.g., like Dream Fairies and stuff like that, will make those decks a lot harder to play if you don't have enough separate unique allies. My brain instantly went to Triscuit though. Like Triscuit is all about unique allies in regards to Fractured Crown gives for each where is it? For each unique ally in the bin, you get 2 health.
Yeah, so Triscuit will be an Omega Tank champion essentially.
So what you'd do is you'd like play Water Triscuit, and you would just mill all these unique allies, and then you bring Fractured Crown out on Triscuit, and she's like a 30 health champion. And then
Yeah.
your whole I'm giving everyone all the spice right now. And then your whole
Yeah, literally, you're
champion
giving away your deck for New Zealand.
the best unique ally is Nia because she's stealth. So like you get all these unique ally effects, and she sits on the board safe most of the time.
Yep. I'm also thinking Fractured Crown could also be used for a version of Luxembourg. Either one.
Yes, although it's class bonus for the health
Oh,
part.
oh no, that part's class bonus. Never
Has to
mind.
be
Yeah, we only have
has to
one
be good
Luxem.
old Triscuit. But at
Yeah,
the same
good old.
time,
It has to make a bit of appearance.
Triscuit herself is a unique ally too, so she kind of can help with that. So you play Water Zend, obviously, like a Water Luxem Zander, and you just play like there's a lot of water cards that I like that have unique ally effects, like Slipstream Vault. Target ally you control becomes distant. Negate all card activations targeting it. This costs 1 less if your target is a unique ally, so it's a 1-cost negate. Also, hold on. Can you do this on Triscuit if you're Triscuit?
It has the target. Is Triscuit still an ally?
Is she? Has ally
That's.
on it.
I mean, yeah. Because what does Triscuit say? It says banish a champion if you do. She
Unique
becomes a
champion.
unique champion. But does she still retain the unique ally text?
Yeah, I
Probably
don't know.
not. I feel like
Probably not. That'd be pretty
that
cool
would
though,
be
right?
replaced by unique champion. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, so there's obviously a lot of stuff that's about unique allies, as you were saying. So I think it's kind of cool. I do think that it depends on what kind of comes out, though, whether it becomes like an actual meta deck or like it's just going to be not great. We'll move into Kong Ming. Talk about some Kong Ming action. I'm actually quite excited for Kong Ming. I think she's going to be very hard to play, but I think she's going to be very strong. Level 1 Kong Ming, Wayward Maven. On enter, you gain the Shifting Currents Mastery. Where is it? Let's see if I can find it.
It was all the way near the bottom.
Of course it is.
It's
Shifting
just
Currents, cool.
yeah.
So the mastery is, at the beginning of your end phase, you may change the direction of your shifting currents to a different direction of your choice. So there's a little arrow, so you'd put it north, south, east, or west. Testing my never eat soggy wheat picks. So you obviously move this around. I'm sure people will make like proper cool new things for it. Level 2 is actually her strong point. Level 2 is her strong point. Level 2, Kongming Lineage on enter in Power 3. So when Power 3 is a new keyword, it means the next spell you play is played although you have 3 extra or in power extra levels. And an inherited effect is whenever your shifting currents change from facing north to south, you draw a card. So she can have a Merlin effect pretty much if you move it around at the right amount. The Power 3 is a strong effect though, because you're able to careful study, pay 3 for a careful study. You're able to peer for 7 counters, so it's a +1.
Yep.
So a lot of cards that can kind of help her draw. I'm sure there's other cards I'm not thinking of that will make it work. But then Power 3 is very strong. They showed a water mage card. Where was it? It was like a water mage card that AoEs the whole board, and she can do it level 2 for free. Yeah, Tsunami of Nanue. I think that's it. Efficiency 5. So if you're level 2, it's free. Deal 2 damage to all rested allies. If your shifting currents face south, deal 3 damage to all rested allies you don't control instead. What do you think of this?
I'm scared, man. I play allies, and I'm scared of 3 damage AoEs. Like, they hurt. Might have to bring it back to Song of Nurturing to counter it, but
Yes. Corollas Ward. Prevent the next 1+ level damage that will be dealt to target unit this turn. If your shifting currents face west, draw a card into your memory. So it's a +0 spell shield.
yeah, definitely. Kongming has a lot of cards that, depending on like how you use the winds, can be very, very strong.
Can you
But
play
I
this
think like,
in Water Eye? Block like 11 damage.
I don't.
Not
Yeah, I
11.
mean, it's just a spell shield. Yeah, it's a one mana spell shield. Oh no, wait, 1+ level. You can play it in Rye, yeah.
Yeah. It's
You can
pretty
block
good.
12 damage, yeah.
They also reprinted. I know we're jumping around a little bit. They also reprinted Crystal Empowerment in their own way. They did Shard of Empowerment, banished Shard of Empowerment in Power 2. So they've pretty much remade it so you can't ban a knight with it. You can't do all this silly stuff. You can only do it with spells, which is really good because it does need this card.
Yeah,
Jumping back
definitely.
to level
Yeah.
3, sorry. Level 3 was finished the Lineage. So level 3 Kongming, there will obviously be 2 champions of each one. So it's very exciting to know what the other Jin and other Kongming will be. That'll be kind of cool.
Yep.
Surely they'll do 2 of each. They always do. So I don't see them changing now. But anyway, Kongming Lineage says on enter, recover X, where X is the amount of Terror Element cards in your banishment. Whenever you activate a spell card, you may change the direction of your shifting currents to an adjacent direction of your choice.
This is it's honestly such a crazy card. This one,
What do you think
especially
of like
given that
Kongming overall? Like just her generic, like the way she's built, her engine.
yeah, I think Kongming will be very fun. When I was reading through all of her cards, it reminded me of the first time I read through Arasana, where it just sounds like a very high skill ceiling kind of deck, which is awesome to see. I do love that because before you hit level 3, your wins will change at the end of each turn, so that you have to preemptively change them
To
to use the
North.
cards that you have in your hand. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'd be like it sounds pretty cool in the sense that you have to pre-plan all of your steps. And some of the cards rely on you to change from like north to south, for example, like the level 2, the draw a card. So you have to preemptively change to north, and then the turn after change to south to get a card. And that can be pretty slow. So it'll be interesting to see how people build their deck around that.
So
I'm
you
just very
you
excited
could
to see what
also
people do
go
with Kongming.
you go level 2, you're at North. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. North. Because
It starts at
you
north.
can change in any direction you want normally, right?
Mm,
So level 2, you're at North. You move to South, you draw a card, right?
yep.
You go to level 3. You then play 2 spells. You go from South to West and West to North. And then you end your turn. You go North to South. You draw a card, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
but that's
is
like
a lot of draw. But it's playing. You only have to play 2 spell cards. It's a mage. I'm sure there'll be free cards, right? Free spell cards to play.
yeah.
Like
And
Terrasite.
it's definitely interesting because
Terrasite will
oh yeah,
make it move.
Terrasite, yeah. Yeah. Terrasite is such an amazing card.
I think
Is it a
Terrasite.
spell though?
Pretty sure it has to be a spell. Yeah, mage spell.
Yeah, mage spell. Interesting. It was a mage spell from the start, so it was never a tamer spell, despite having Sylvie on the
Yeah,
card.
they've already set it up. They've set all this stuff
Yeah.
up.
They were ready for Kongming like 1 year ago.
Um, yeah, I'm excited for Kongming. I think you're right. She's gonna be hard, especially like it'll be Kongming into Jin allies, and Jin allies will just roll you over before you can do anything. Although
Yeah.
there was some cool wind Kongming cards, which were Vengeful Gust is kind of cool. It's like a Zephyr that deals damage, which is kind of cool, but not really one to look at now. There was one that based on where you are, you do stuff. Yeah, here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one
Figure
is
of
very
Cardinal Fate. Depending on your shifting currents direction, north, you put a buff count on ally you control. South, you return ally you control to its owner's hand. West, you glimpse 3, draw a card. Or east, you wake up each defending ally. They get +2 until the end of the turn. What do the bottom left icons mean? I know they said they meant something. Are they supposed to mean specific things?
I think that's like the wind, so depending on which like it's similar to like it's the character for north, south, east, west. So since this one
Gotcha.
has all bonuses for when you're north, south, east, and west, depending, it's got all for symbols. If a card only had a benefit when you're north, then it would only show the north one.
Got you. Fairy Whispers is actually amazing in this deck too. You just Fairy Whispers to
Oh
move your Shifting Currents
yeah,
prereq.
yeah. One mana's one cost spell is like amazing.
The one I'm most excited for though is I think this brings us back to Rye Lorraine starter decks. Okay, 2 new players play. Lorraine
Yep.
starter deck destroys the Rye starter deck every time. 2 competitive players play. The Rye deck will beat the Lorraine deck every time. Right? I think this
Yep.
comes down to this matchup too. I think people who don't understand Kong Ming yet, I think the Jin allies, Jin aggro will destroy it. But I think that if a good Kong Ming player can get to 3 and play this Leeching Bolt, 2 cost, a mage spell, deal level damage to target unit, recover 2. Leeching Bolt is empowered, put it into its owner's material deck preserved. Cards like this will just destroy allies. You just use these to trade the board, and you don't actually lose them as long as you empower it.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely think Tongming is more of she's more of a late game type deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a much higher skill ceiling. I think it's very interesting that you bring up the starter decks because Lorraine and Rai, it's a mage and a warrior, and once again we have
It's a
a
mage and
mage
a
and a
warrior.
warrior. Yeah, interestingly enough as well, the warrior they announced the difficulty levels of the starter decks. Jin was 1 out of 5, Kongming was 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
crazy.
actually it's interesting that you bring that up. I never thought about it that way, but it's literally a mirror of the starter decks. You've got the easier difficulty on the warrior and the harder difficulty on the mage, and once again, people are going to compare them.
Are you finally
So it's
moving
almost
to the 5-star deck this season? Are we putting the warrior behind? No Jin? All Kong Ming?
it's an interesting question, honestly. I'm pretty excited to try Jin, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, I might get into Kongming. It's very it'll take time
Are you going to
because
the midnight
yeah.
release?
I don't think so. No,
I'm going to play
probably because
Kong
I
Ming
got
at the
work the
midnight
next.
release is what
Yeah,
I'm hoping to do. I'm just going to play it at
yeah,
midnight with no sleep. I'll be wrecked. I'm just going to be north, south, I don't know, some way,
yeah.
east, west, or whatever.
Yeah, I'll leave Kongming to the super cracked players, the ones who are
Uh,
willing to lose 100 games to aggro or more, probably
so,
1,000 games to aggro.
so her big card, Planet Abyss, is a 12 cost terror card. It has efficiency on it. At the beginning of your next recollection phase, destroy all non-champion objects, and if your shifting currents face south, deal 10 damage to each champion you don't control. This is
Pretty good.
very good. This is the first time we've ever had a actual board wipe. This wipes everything off the
Yeah,
board. It's a full reset.
yeah, everything
All
dies
domains,
unconditionally.
all items, everything's gone.
Yeah,
So I
so
think this
just
is
hard reset.
really good into Jin too, because this will break his breastplate and deal 10 damage to him.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's he's
interesting.
probably way over dead. He hasn't got his berserker plate anymore. It's very strong. It's also very expensive, obviously, but we have some they've printed some really good cards to help Mage in regards to we've got our own Forest Cake in Mage now. Mnemonic Charm is a 2 cost. On enter, draw a card into your memory, and it has a Empower 2 effect on it when you pop it.
Yeah, so it's once again one of those delayed items. You get a draw initially, and then you get a delayed effect, which I think is actually a very interesting thing that they should be exploring. Because that way, early game you can play cards and level efficiently, and then get the effects benefits late game.
Yeah.
It'd be
You
fun
can
if they make more of them.
Empower Careful Study. You could probably go for it's the next spell card, so you can't Arcane Blast with them, double Arcane Blast or anything, but you can definitely Mnemonic Charm into a first Careful to get you going or something like that, which is kind of cool.
Hmm.
But you have to be really careful. It says the next spell card you activate this turn activates as it resolves if your champion has 2 levels, so you can't Dispo or you can't play any other card like that. You have to make sure the next spell card you play has that effect, an efficiency effect, right?
Yeah. So then, accidentally pop them on Mnemonic Charm and then play a Terracide or something.
Yeah,
Because
then you're in
it's
trouble.
a very common mistake in Rye for sure.
Yep.
They banish the Voltaic Sphere and then play the Arcane Sight and then
Yep.
cry.
All right, moving into some random cards to talk about. There's some interesting ones to talk about actually. We had the 2 reveals that were very interesting. We had I don't know where the bow is, but Sea Fletch Serpent is a 3 cost ally ranger tamer beast serpent. So Pride
Yep.
2, it is a 3/3 serpent for 3, which is actually really good stats. Really good stats. Class bonus on hit, you may load Sea-Fletch Serpent into target unloaded bow weapon you control. What do you think of that?
I mean, I just think it's fun. It's like for the first time we have an ally that
That
turns
fun.
into a weapon. Oh, sorry, an arrow, I guess. Similar to like bullets, but not quite. Yeah, it's just it's interesting to see. On top of that, it also now shows that we have bows.
Yeah, there
Rangers
is a
will have
bow
bows and arrows.
somewhere, just not on. Sadly, it's not on here. I thought it'd be on here. The bow isn't on here, but there is a bow that came out with it, which was very interesting.
Hmm.
Which makes you think, like, I think Diana gets a gun out, right?
Yeah, Diana gets a gun.
So there has to be a ranger hero coming. I'm so locked on that it has to be a ranger hero if it, as a lineage or something.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a lineage break champion, or maybe a unique ally that can use bow weapons.
That would be cool, like Galahad,
Yeah,
but bows. That'd be
yeah.
very cool.
Good old Galachad. Yeah.
The Divine Relic was revealed. It's a very interesting Divine Relic. Imperial Seal, the Divine Relic, obviously. Mage Artifact, Banish Imperial Seal. All basic elements are enabled for you until the end of the turn.
Yeah, it's like it is a very interesting card because it opens up a world of different types of deck building that you can do. You can have Kong Ming with water element, for example, who can throw fireballs at you. Honestly, like that's the very first thing that comes to mind. Fireball being one of the strongest mage spells over them, arguably. And then I don't know what else would you? What else have you cooked up anything that you're willing to share using this card?
Right here, baby.
Oh yeah, always Triscuit.
Firewater and wind
Triscuit for
elements
the
are
biscuit.
enabled for you, so just do it before you get to Triscuit.
Yep,
So you can play
always
a
Triscuit for the biscuit.
tri-element deck.
Yeah.
No, I think that it's cool. I'm not sold on it personally yet. I'm not sold on it because, like, as you said, the general consensus has been, oh, we can play wind and watermelon and we can run 4 fireballs, and then I'm just like, sure, I'll steal it off you, and now your deck doesn't do anything because I stole your seal. What now? Which
You would be that person.
I know every card obviously has a card that counters it, but even then, even if you're not stealing it, it's like, okay, for one turn you can fireball, but what if like they triple veiling that turn because they know you're going to do it? You know what I mean? Like you pop seal in response to you popping seal, I just like safeguard or blanch or veiling. Like, what do you do then?
Yeah, that is true. Um, what if it was a sideboard card though? What if you do it one game, sideboard it out? You sideboard out your 4 fireballs and your Imperial Seal. At which
Or
point,
you
like you've created,
side it in.
yeah. Either way, it's like you've created a situation where you've created a surprise factor. Your opponent's playing around it for the whole game, and you
Mm-hmm.
might not even have it in your deck afterwards.
It's true.
It's just a fun little gimmick that people can test out.
What's your thoughts on the horses?
The horses, I think I'm not sure. I mean,
What's your
the
thought on
horses are
this
interesting.
card right here? Is this card good?
Yeah, this guy just looks funny. That's all I can say about it. It just looks funny. But yeah, you have like something that's similar to Spurn to Ash.
4
Not
cost.
quite. It also breaks. Yeah, it's 4 cost. It's very expensive. Is the first thing I would say because you get it 1/2, which for stats is not very strong.
Not the worst stats I've ever seen, I think. Oh no, Tide Divine is
Yeah,
a 4 cost 1/1, I guess, but
yeah, yeah. Like you can run cards like what's that card? The fire one costs 3, destroys a regalia with 0 memory cost. Reduced to Ash. Yeah.
research.
You can run like cards like Reduced to Ash. I think it's better. Um, I'm not a big fan of this card, but
Look at the top 10 cards of your deck, reveal a horse,
oh yeah,
put it into your hand.
yeah. When I saw this card is insane. It's like absolutely disgustingly crazy card. Looking at 10 cards of your deck is like that should not be a thing. At this point, we're just playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Like Yu-Gi-Oh has Pot of Duality. You look at the top 3 cards, pick one, add it to your hand. This card looks at 10 in a 60 card deck. Like you look at 1/10 of your deck. Like
Well, you
who
play
thought this would
4,
be a good
you look
idea?
through 40 cards of your deck. See your whole deck.
Yeah, yeah. It's like already we have things like Gather Slimes and Blissful Calling or Rally the Peasants. They look at either 5 or 6 cards, which already felt pretty good. But looking at 10 doesn't seem fair.
If you control a unique ally, the next horse ally card you activate this turn costs 2 less to activate.
Yep. Horses might be good. We'll see. We'll see.
This card is actually. I've never had a proper read of it. This card's actually insane.
Yeah.
Because like you have what unique ally do you have? You have like whatever Gildas,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, it's an SR as well, though. People are going to be
Gildas
hunting this card.
it plays for free.
Yeah. Yeah, and they keep like leaking new horses as well, so like it's gonna reach a point where we actually have enough horses for it to matter. At least good ones anyway. I don't know about the Mustang. We'll have
Yeah.
good horses, I hope. We have
Mandate
Trusty Steed, the best horses in the game.
True. Mandate of Honor, as long as you control a unique ally, each player with influence 8 or more can't draw cards.
I do love cards that say Merlin can't play the game.
And Rye.
Oh yeah. Oh true. Rise is gonna have to play like 2 cards a turn.
This is quite strong in a sideboard, I think.
Yeah. I think this is the kind of card that feels very necessary.
Wait,
Just
this
because
is
of the way some
hold on, you know what this does? This stops Luxem Xander from ever Lightweaving you. Ever. They have to Excalibur it. They can't pay they can't have 10 cards. They can't double Lightweavers because they only can have 8 influence, they can never draw more.
Yeah.
So
I
this
think
turns
it's
Lightweavers
a very
off.
nice card to have.
Like they're
Oh
forced
boy.
to Excalibur that. That's quite funny.
Yeah.
And then you Zephyr it.
Yeah. Use that. Yeah, use that for you put it under QSG
Oh, you
when they go for a Gleaming Cut.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. Oh, yeah. This is actually is another SR, of course. Very good
Yeah.
card, though.
Yeah, I like having this card as person who primarily plays aggro or allies. Like,
Yeah, because you're never
it's
going to
nice.
have. This is good in aggro because you're never going to have 8
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah, the fact that it costs 0 as well.
This
It's
is
just
this is also
easy to
good.
get out.
If you play like Serene, let's say like Serene Fire Eye, you can play this and Gloam Spire together, and then you can just kind of get rid of it later, like burn it later.
Mm,
Like disintegrate it or something. I mean, it's probably hard. You could play it in Merlin actually, and you just like Pendragon it when you've had enough.
that's true. Melvin can just get rid of it
Yeah,
herself. Yeah,
Merlin
that's
can
actually
play
true.
it
So
and
you
then
use it.
Pendragon. So it's actually good for Merlin. What do you mean? Strong.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you time it right, it's actually pretty good.
Because like Merlin bounces this and just draws 2, right?
Yeah,
Rip.
because yeah, at the time she's drawing, it's not in the field.
Merlin's never leaving this game, honestly.
Oh no, Merlin's gonna be around forever. As long as they print Kong Ming cards and Mage cards, Merlin will exist.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so too.
yeah, it's not possible to. Yeah, every time you make a Mage or Warrior card, Merlin is getting buffed indirectly. And
Bring
they just
Down the
make
Mighty
more
is a
money.
1-cost assassin skill. Until the beginning of your next turn, target ally can't attack, and if that ally is unique, draw a card into your memory.
Yeah, it's a nice card if you know you're dealing with like it's the counter to all of these unique allies that we've been talking about. We've been seeing a lot. It
See,
also works against Gildas.
I was thinking different. I was thinking,
Oh.
pay 1, you bring down the Mighty your own Nia to draw a card.
Oh, target ally can't. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Nia's doing anything, so yeah, it cycles 1 if you have a Nia. That's true.
I'm on that Triscuit train. It's
Yeah.
moving. It's moving.
Yeah,
But you're
you're
right.
so
You
ready.
can turn the
Yeah.
Gildas off. You can turn off a lot of
Yeah.
interesting allies like the horses, the strong horses and stuff as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and then there's also the new like fire assassin ally that we got, the one with the really long text. Her name's Xiao Chao.
I
Wonderworth.
don't think it's on. Oh, it is, yeah. Xiao Xiao Cinder Keeper is a 2-cost stealth 1/2. Xiao Xiao attacks can't be retaliated. That's quite good. The hit unit by Xiao Xiao this turn would die. Banish it instead. So it's like an arsonist.
Yep. But one other thing is it's a that text there assassin,
What the
tamer,
hell?
animal, human, and a cat. Like, holy! I can't believe it barely fits on the card as well. But
Assassin,
I think the
tamer,
big
animal,
thing.
human, cat. Why that's put cat in there? Like, what's the point? There has to be a
That's a
reason.
good question. I mean, they've been making cats. Maybe there'll soon be a new archetype called cat
The cat
that
meta.
isn't relevant. Yeah, the cat meta. But one thing about Xiao Chao is she's a tamer and she naturally has stealth. So if you go Sylvie and then play this card, she's a 2/3 with stealth, which is like a black market broker. But
Yeah. And can't
permanent,
be retaliated too.
yeah,
So it can kill like taunts and stuff.
yeah, and they
And
can
then you
go
can like
through
beast bonder
Stalwart
it,
Shield
make it
mates.
a 3/4 stealth. Can't be
Yeah,
retaliated. Wow, this thing eats
yeah,
allies actually.
yeah. I actually think like some version of Fire Ally Tamer is is going to be very relevant next meta.
And also, the banish effect is insane into Merlin. You just get rid of like Star Waltz and all of them as well.
Yeah, Library Witch can go.
Yeah, she's once again an SR. She's very strong.
Yeah, I hope people are ready to buy boxes because there's a lot of SRs you'll have to pick up.
Cao Cao, not Cow Cow. Cao Cao, letting you know.
Yep.
Equestrian, 5-cost water, 2/2. On attack, you may banish a card with flowing memory from your graveyard. If you do, deal 2 damage to each rested unit you don't control. She becomes a 2-cost if you have a horse.
Yep. So essentially, she's an ally that it does a 2 damage AoE because whenever you're playing against allies, they'll be rested. They'll be attacking you.
And it's every turn she can do it.
Oh yeah, every turn. So she works well in these mill decks, or I guess like even Kong Ming might have a little floating memory somehow.
Yeah. I did hear,
Yeah.
what did we hear? There was something on the dev stream. I think Bell let it slip slightly that apparently she had fractals in Kong Ming that were doing 9 damage every turn or something.
Is it? Oh, does
That
this have
was-
something to do with the card that explodes all your fractals, or is
Well,
it
that's
something else?
we don't know, right? We don't know whether, like, what if they're bringing out like a card that like you play it and just deals 6 damage every time and it's on the board or something.
Yeah, like
Don't know.
based
But
on the number of times your wins have changed. Who knows?
Burst Asunder is a 4-cost card. This is the one that is the fractal one. This card costs 2 less to activate if you're cleric or mage, so 2 cost. Deal 2 damage to target unit. Then you may sacrifice any amount of fractals. For each fractal sacrificed this way, deal an additional 2 damage to that unit.
Yeah. I love this card because it means that your fractals they can gain value for you throughout the game, and then you can blow them up and do like a finishing move with this card.
So that's her as well.
Yep, that is Chao Chao.
So it means that. See, I sense this here and I go, all right. So Fractal Arraign is like a must-have, right? You're gonna play Fractal Arraign in this deck, 100%. And Fractal Arraign, you're gonna play Refracting Missiles, 100% in this deck, right? As well. And then Fractal Arraign like hits a float, and then you play the Rainweaver Mage. On enter, you may banish a card with flowing memory from your graveyard. If you do, it gets in power 4.
Nice.
And it's called Rain.
It's called 3-mana too.
It's called Rainweaver Mage because of Fractal of Rain. And then at the end, when it doesn't matter about the fractals anymore, you just blow them all up.
Yeah, nice.
That's what
There's definitely a bunch of new cards that'll be interesting. Can't wait to test that Rainweaver Mage, honestly.
Yeah, I do think that so far there's been a lot of ally hate. 2-cost oppressive presence. Activate this card only during an opponent's recollection phase. Until end of turn, players can't declare attacks with allies unless they pay X for each attack. Which, although I think this might go in via aggro, actually. You play a Blitz Mage and you play this on their turn, and it's like quite strong.
That's true. This gives fire allies like a good way to deal with like wind and water allies.
Yep, because you have to pay like 3 to attack.
Put it, yeah.
It has to be a fire ally. When this was revealed, spoiled, they were saying like you could play Deer and like Deer you can then play this in Merlin, but it specifically says fire ally power, so it has to be a fire ally. So you're looking at Blitz Mage, you're looking at this one, you're looking at.
You could use Lava Soul Tiger there on the top right as well.
Lava Soul, yeah, this thing is true. This thing is actually
gas,
great, dude.
Yeah.
Lava Soul Tiger is a 4-cost
Fire Tamer is the way.
Pride 3. You may banish 2 fire element cards from your graveyard. If you do, Lava Soul Tiger loses Pride until end of turn. Oh my god. Very nice.
This thing is
card.
actually gas.
Artwork's nice too.
Yeah, I love this card.
But there's
Honestly, I have to look at this.
There was a spoiler today that I don't have in front of me. I'm pretty sure it's like give a buff counter and they lose Pride.
Is it? Okay, I haven't actually seen today's spoilers.
I can't really bring it up, I don't think, without bringing up my Facebook and stuff. But yeah, there's like it's a very cool card that pretty sure you can take Pride off something, so it's very strong. We also have some reprints, obviously, Flame Rune Swordsman. We've got the best reprint in the world. Art Thoughts. Art still hasn't changed. Don't think it ever will.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think at this point it's a meme. It's like they reprint this card every single set.
Surely they reprint Trusty Steed as well. I'm hoping that they do that. That'd be funny.
Oh yeah.
We'll look at one more UR. We'll look at Mortal Ambition. So Mortal Ambition is a 6-cost Tamer skill, although no class bonus. This card costs 2 less to activate for each unique ally you control. Until end of turn, human and horse allies you control get 1 life and gain ambush and steadfast, and it's fast. This is a gotcha card.
Yeah, this is the way you deal with flame sweep. Finally, you just instead of you like your board still dies, but you can send like 20 damage back at them who's trying to flame sweep you.
It's not even just flame sweep. Like if you just swing at my face, they all have ambush, so they all can retaliate without even being hit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
So like you
that's
just
right. Yeah, you don't have to be swinging
savage
at
slash
the
me for
ally.
2. You savage slash me for 2, and I'll ambush steadfast for 20.
Yeah, this would be so cool into something like Tristan, where Tristan
Terrifying.
goes in for the finishing blow, and then she's ready to shatter the shadow clones, but then you have all your guys who would just jump past them.
Well,
It'd be like,
the interesting thing
excuse me?
actually is Tristan slice and dices. She hits you with the slice, you ambush steadfast retaliate. She hits you with the dice, you ambush steadfast retaliate.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like it just becomes a game of chicken.
Like
I
you
mean, I
just
guess
force
they
a
have
draw
in
then,
cap,
right?
but
Yeah, they have to
yeah,
cap.
I guess in cap exists still, but yeah, it'd be
Man,
funny.
that'd be crazy.
You can force draws.
What else has multiple like 1/1 attacks? Like a lot of mini attacks. Jin. It's good against Jin.
Yeah, Jin's gonna
He
have
attacks
all the.
twice.
That's true. Yeah, Jin's gonna be attacking a lot of times. If it locks him down that tries 1,000 refractions, you can send it back at him.
I do feel like you obviously need a board, so you need to. It's like a bit of a win more card, I think, unless you have like some fast play allies or something. This is actually probably good in slimes as well, actually, because you can play this. Oh no, it has to be human or horse. Never mind. You have to play in human or horse allies, so it has to be like a horse unique deck then, or something with like Gildas in it or something.
Yeah,
Although Gildas is a
yeah,
unique
it's a
card,
bit.
right?
I mean, it has to. You have to play in the unique ally deck most likely because it's very expensive by
This card
itself.
is gas next set.
Yeah, Geldus is gas. Like that's all I'm saying. The moment Dream Fairy gets bad, Geldus is the best card in the game.
If only this had
100%.
horse, not bull. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's true. If it was a horse out, it'd be
Oh
crazy.
my god, that'd be crazy. Any last ones you can think of that I haven't brought up?
I think not at the moment. I
That's
guess about
Fireball
Ignite
reprint.
Fate, just because I like the art. Yeah, true. We've got a lot of alternate arts coming out.
Ignite Fate's really cool.
Yeah,
It's
I
one
do
of the
like.
first
Yeah,
fire. It's another fire float. Like we haven't had many generic fire float. We've got Tempered Steel, and that's pretty much it. Now we have 2. We have Ignite Fate 2.
yeah. I mainly just like this card because it's kind of like you're ramping up the ante for both sides, right? Both sides are taking 2 damage. It's kind of like increasing danger where
Yeah.
you just like the longer the game goes on, the more of these you play, the closer you are to someone dying.
One of my favorite looking cards, I think, is actually like the Heated Vengeance card is crazy. I think this is actually going to be a really important part of Jin's like kit. 3-cost Heated Vengeance, attack Warrior Polearm once again. As long as your champion has taken damage this turn, Heated Vengeance gets +3. And on attack, you may have Heated Vengeance deal 3 damage to your champion. So, like, you can clumsy Heated turn 1. It's not class bonus. Just do 5 damage turn 1. Well, 6 with clumsy. You also have like all of your abilities that deal damage to you, like your Berserker Plate and stuff, which will make Heated Vengeance turn on. You can also like turn 1, just ignite, like going second, ignite, both take 2, Heated Vengeance for 5. You've got a float. You've done 7 damage turn 1.
To
And like
yourself,
as long
as
as
well.
you're doing damage to yourself, like clumsy or like ignite the fate, then this card just turns on straight away, it's such a strong card.
Yeah, I think also one other thing, because you could use an Impact Hammer with this card.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think with the timing it would work. Impact Hammer, you take damage
It
first,
does. A
and then
static effect.
the attack damage go through. Yeah,
Yeah. And Impact
so
Hammer,
it's definitely
I don't think you get class bonus though, but that doesn't matter. It's still a 2-cost, right? Pretty sure
yeah.
it's
I mean, you're still
Guardian,
going
right?
for the 2/2 weapon. Is strong.
Although you just play this in fire aggro Tony.
You could, yeah, because you don't need the on attack. Because the
Nah.
on attack is just dealing damage to yourself.
Yeah.
You don't
So
need
you
that.
just need to deal damage to yourself with like a clumsy or with this, and you're just going in for 6 every turn with this.
Yeah, honestly, it'd be nice. Nice to have.
Yeah,
I feel like
very strong.
they're really like ramping up the ante. They're giving support to so many different archetypes. But I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of support for fire aggro, so it'd be a scary set to play, honestly.
Yeah, I'm very
It's
excited.
nice that we have Jin though. Jin is,
Why
he's
play
a
Heated
28
Vengeance
health
when you can
with
play
immortality.
Fiery Swing? 6 cost on attack. You may banish up to 6 fire element cards from your graveyard. For each card banished this way, deal 1 extra damage. So you can go in for 12 with Fiery Swing without a weapon.
Yeah.
Within Impact
Yep.
Hammer, you can go in for what? 14.
15, right? If you're class
15.
minus.
Yeah.
Yeah. 15, who knows? You can stack. Can you stack level 2 Tony if you can somehow
Oh, okay,
manage
it's
a
over.
miracle
Yeah,
stack that
they're
on?
dead. They're
Yeah.
dead. They are so dead
Yeah.
then.
Who needs Rending Flames when you can do that?
Yeah, that's very true. But no, that's awesome. We have these all spoilers so far. There are a few that weren't here, obviously, but we might come back and make another video on more. Feel free to comment if you guys want to see any other type of videos like this of us going through spoilers. Thank you for having a chat with me, Tien.
Yep, no worries. And I'd like to thank once again shout out Rav for making this website, gaberry.net. If you want to see all the spoilers compiled in one place, they're there.
Yeah.
I think Rav also very frequently updates the new spoilers. So we're still in the middle of spoiler season.
Yes.
Any new spoilers will come up there. So
Yeah.
it's a
Look
good
forward
place to check them all out.
Also, look forward to see Crave Shock spoilers. It'll be on the 23rd, 4th, 3rd, 4th.
Yeah, it's 23rd, but so for Australian time, that's in the 24th, unfortunately, because 23rd American time. I'm not
Yeah.
sure which
So
time.
as of recording, it'll be in 2 days.
Yep.
Awesome.
I think that's not going to be very helpful, but yeah.
All good. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Ciao.